if you are back, thank you. This is a long-awaited video that's gonna be labeled, not girl talk, but it's first date advice. It's first date advice specifically for girls, advice that I wish I gave myself when I was a lot younger. Or if you're a younger viewer and you're watching this, maybe you guys can apply this to your current life. And let me know if you like this video. Let me know down in the comments if you like this video or if you have any advice that you would like to give yourself. I would love to see what you guys think. So I'm actually gonna be going off the top of my head. So I figured I'm home alone. I need to take advantage of this free talking space. So the first advice is that I would give myself is, on a first date, you always want to make a nice impression. Let's talk breath. Let's talk breath. Breath for me is like a deal breaker. Like if you come in and you pick me up and you're like, hey, how are you doing? Hey, how you doing? No, and I smell what you had for lunch and it's salami with a mustard sandwich and then you had some coffee in the morning. We are now never gonna go on a second date, ever. Scrub your tongue. I don't know how many people in the world don't scrub their tongue. Get a tongue scraper, it's like $3, and scrub your tongue. Make sure you have gum. Make sure you have mints if you don't really like chewing gum, or some strips. Just be aware that if you're gonna go on a date where you're talking a lot, like a coffee date, or if it's like a dinner type of date, that you want to have nice smelling breath. The topic of smells, I'm just saying, I live in an area where it gets hot. It gets 110 degrees hot in the summertime. I personally like to make the impression that I smell good regardless of the weather, so I make sure I put on my deodorant, I make sure I have on perfume. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. Just be aware that he or she might be like sensitive to smells. Your scent, whatever scent you want to put on, is not too overbearing. I know a lot of guys who like to just douse in like body spray. It's a no-go. It's a no-go for me. That's something you really don't want to do. Ladies, I know also a lot of girls who like to just spray a lot and be like, oh, it's gonna last throughout the day, that's why I'm doing it. Yeah, sometimes it's a little much. Next topic. I want to say, just be aware of what type of date you're gonna be on. So if you want to go to dinner and you want to look like super snatched in your outfit, you want to be like,
this is my outfit. I dress like this all the time.
that's great, but do yourself a favor, wear comfortable but cute clothes. Clothes that you feel confident in. Just keep in mind what type of date you're gonna be on. So if you go on a dinner date, wear expandable clothes. Like, you know your stomach expands when you eat. Make sure you're wearing jeans that will not suffocate you. It's not comfortable putting yourself through that, and I'm sure he doesn't want you to do that, or he or she doesn't want you to feel like that either. Speaking of dates, if you go on a dinner date, please be aware of like what you're eating. Like, for example, if you are ordering a meal that you never had before and you're sensitive to certain things like spices, scan the menu before you go to the restaurant if you're a picky ass eater like myself. If you know that you don't want jalapenos and you're sensitive to spice, you know something in the dish will possibly get in your teeth, like spinach or black pepper, something like that. Those are things you want to avoid. I personally would always want to ask and say,
where are we going?
And look at the menu online. That way you're not taking too much time to select something to eat, because that could be really annoying. My dog is going crazy. If you hear my dog in the background, he's just like rolling around. On the topic of food, if you like spicy food like myself and you have a date the following day, make sure you're eating things that will not upset your stomach the day prior of your date. For example, the 2 times spicy noodles, I love those. I eat those a lot. As much as I love them, they hurt my stomach the next day. And you know, my body kind of resents me the day after. If you are going to be wearing tight clothing and you ate spicy stuff the day prior to your date, that's not a good combination. That's not a good combination. We're not doing that. On another note, let's talk about just your mentality. I wish when I was younger somebody told me it's okay to disagree with the person you are on the date with. It is okay to not be so overbearingly polite. You do not have to sit through a date that you feel uncomfortable with. You do not have to do anything. You don't owe anyone anything, okay? You don't owe anyone anything. On top of that, I just wish somebody told me when I was really young that it's okay to not go on a second date. It's okay if this person in front of you doesn't think you're the best person for them. And you don't need to start talking to them just because you go on one date with them. It's important for young girls to know that, because as you go forward into young adulthood, those habits are going to follow you. So get into the habit of speaking up and saying things like, hey, I'm not okay with that. It's okay to speak up. It's just okay to speak up. Physical safety. Let's talk about physical safety. A lot of girls need to know. Just because you know him or her through a friend does not mean to automatically trust them and trust their intentions. You don't need to be cool with them just because they know them. You don't need to be cool with them just because you guys have a mutual friend, okay? We don't need to do that. You know, if you feel uncomfortable with a person you don't really know too well picking you up, and the only reason why you know them is through a mutual friend, it's okay to say, hey, I'll meet you at the place. It's okay not to, you know, be in a closed area with them. Also, especially because social media and like a lot of like apps, dating apps, it's more of like a social thing where you just meet up, you have a date, you never really talk to each other ever again. Do not trust that these people that you see are normal or are in the right head mentality. Just don't do it. Just think of yourself and protect yourself. For example, if you guys are on a date at a restaurant and you feel like you can't really escape, excuse yourself to the bathroom, get a waiter. For me, I would say get your food to go. Once you get your food to go, be like, hey, I'm actually was sitting over there. I'm gonna pay for my part of the meal now and I'm gonna leave because I don't feel safe in this situation. And then you go home. I said, you don't owe anyone. Like I said in the past, you don't owe anyone anything. You want to kind of be in the mentality of like enjoying the day versus being stressed out about the day. I would personally pick out my outfit the day prior just so I already know what type of day we're going on, what activity we're gonna be doing, you know, go rock climbing or are we gonna go on a dinner date. Those are 2 separate outfits. You just wanna make sure you're choosing the right outfit for the day, making sure, you know, your accessories, everything's put together, and you're just not stressed. I always say stress less, just stress less. If you're socially awkward, you don't necessarily, this is a given, we stalk people potential, you know, their potential boo, and, you know, see what he's into. And I would say from your research, you can think of topics to talk about that you generally feel like you have an interest in. Don't just like fake stuff just because he's into it. But if you're into the gym and he's into the gym, you see a lot of fitness photos on his Instagram or something, then you could be like, oh yeah, I just got into fitness, and you guys could talk about that. Or you could see that he's an art major and you could tell him that you've actually been wanting to visit a few museums and you want to know if he knows that, aka hinting for a second date or, you know, potential second date if things go well. Personally, when it comes to your outfit for the day, don't wear something that's gonna get in the way, that's gonna like, you know, prevent me from focusing on the date. Like for me, I'm pretty short, I'm 5'1". So if I wore like the bell-bottom pants, you know, like the silky ones, those, sometimes they're so long I'll end up tripping on them. Topics to avoid, I would say definitely topics right now. I think politics are very, very important, but if politics are a deal breaker for you, or political views are a deal breaker for you, I like to have like an easygoing date first, just to see if I even like this person before asking questions that will make me consider if this person is worth my time. So that's just me. Also, when it comes to picking a date, I would say movies are cool, but movies don't do much, okay? You could say, yeah, I went on a date with this person, but did you really? You didn't really talk to them at all. Try to go on dates that actually, you know, will make you know the person a little bit better. You could do an activity that y'all find fun. Like for example, if someone took me to like a comedy club, that'd be so fun. I always wanted to go to like a comedy club for like my first date. That would be so much fun. Or like an activity like a pool hall, or you know, just something where you get to know the person. For me personally, I don't need a lot of high maintenance stuff. I just feel like the time that I'm spending with a person should be valued because it's worth it. The connection is worth it. If not, it doesn't really matter what place you're gonna be in. You're not gonna have a good time if you don't really care about this person. This video is getting pretty long. So with that being said, if you guys want a part 2, let me know. I had so much fun filming this video for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Let me know down below, what is your first date advice and what do you think was the best tip I gave? With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!